from Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A sobering scene tonight in Floyd County. Take a look at this video from downtown Prestonsburg. You can see the roof of a building on top of several cars. One person died because of that. And now here, a new glimpse this evening from above. You can see how massive that roof was. And you can also see Mayor Les Stapleton and others checking out the damage. Now, that's where we begin our breaking team coverage live with WYMT's Justin Case in downtown Prestonsburg. Justin.
Steve, driving into the city of Prestonsburg, there's widespread damage. Most of it is power lines down, power poles down, trees blocking some of the roadways here in the city of Prestonsburg. In fact, there's actually a line down in the roadway right in front of City Hall here in the city of Prestonsburg. We're told that officials have cut power to that line, so there are still many customers who are without power. But of course, you just mentioned it. The worst of that storm damage is right here behind me. You can see it right here along West Court Street. Now, all of this debris that you're seeing here used to be the rooftop of the building Hawk Shop here, which you can see on West Court Street. Now, we are told that all of this started around 2:15 this afternoon when an intense storm moved through the area. It actually lifted up the roof off of the building before it crashed down on the street below. Now, 3 cars were parked on the street along with another vehicle that was being driven down the road. We are told that the falling debris killed the driver of that vehicle. We are told that there was a passenger also inside that vehicle who was able to escape without injuries.
We're the first ones to the vehicle. We managed to get the windows broke. We checked on the individual. He was obviously deceased. At that point, we secured the scene, got people out of the way, and just waited on extra personnel to get there.
Steve, now I did just get off the phone with the coroner because we were trying to get the name confirmed so we can release it to you at this time. We are told that the coroner is still trying to notify family members, so unfortunately we're unable to release the name at this time. But right now I am joined by WYMT's Connor James. Actually, you were the first member of our team down here at this scene. Initially, we didn't even know that anyone was hurt, let alone killed by the storm damage. But people are reacting, saying that they've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, Justin, it really just happened in a matter of seconds. People tell me they really didn't know what hit them in the aftermath. Well, they're still trying to comprehend it.
In a matter of moments, chaos erupted in downtown Prestonsburg.
Our building was shaking. The chairs were moving sideways.
Caitlin works right down the street from where the roof blew off the old Hawk Shop building, killing a man driving through.
I was worried about my babies because they're at daycare. That's my only thought. And where my husband and my father were because they work around here, and that was my only thought. Where were they?
The roof landed in the middle of West Court Street, now closed indefinitely. Others say the storm and the sounds woke them up.
And then we heard like a large bang, like is this something outside? It almost popped or a tree cracked or something like that. And then all the power went out in the area.
Dakota Chaffins is like many who are still in shock about what happened.
You know, it seems severe, but you never really think it's that bad, that it's something like that would happen. So it's always a little eye-opening.
Now, Connor, actually, one of the questions we've been getting a lot is, was this an active business? Were there people inside the business? But I understand we're learning more about that right now, right?
Yeah, Justin, thankfully there was no one inside. We heard renovations were going on, so thankfully, really, that could have been much worse if someone was in there. We have learned, though, that the building, though, itself, it's been condemned due to just how much damage it's received.
Of course. I mean, we will continue to cover this story. Once we get the name, we'll release that on WYMT.com. But for now, in Floyd County, Justin Case and Connor James. Now back to you.
All right, Justin and Connor, great job covering this terrible story, especially with the death today. And of course, we'll have more tonight at 11 and continue following this on air and online.
Well, it was definitely an active afternoon across the mountains, but definitely hearts go out to the family who lost a loved one over into Prestonsburg. But we are looking at the storm that hit a couple of hours ago. Here it is on satellite and radar that moved through downtown Prestonsburg. This was severe warned, and it was really severe warned once it moved into parts of our area, and just it kept going through and actually went through parts of Virginia and West Virginia as well. So here's a look at that storm that moved in around 2:15 and even into 2:30. Sheets of rain that fell across the area. and now officials are worried about more wind coming into that area and really going to impact that building. So as we head through the overnight hours, the good news is we are going to see those calm conditions really continue, but those winds are expected to pick up as we head into tomorrow, and that's because of a cold front moving through. I'll have a look at that full forecast though coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
Paige, thank you. An Eastern Kentucky man remains in the hospital following a coal mining accident. Officials tell us a wall collapse injured 49-year-old Matt North last week at the Rex Coal Company that is near Cumberland. North was rushed to Johnson City Medical Center. State officials are still trying to determine what exactly happened. Family members tell us North is still in intensive care on life support. A southeastern Kentucky community remains on edge tonight after a murder suspect remains on the run. And we have learned that the man they are looking for, 38-year-old Nicholas Rucker, went to prison 20 years ago for the death of his own infant son. Rucker has been in and out of jail for other crimes since then. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has the latest.
Uneasiness over a convicted killer running loose somewhere in Corbin.
I'm worried to death, yes. I am worried to death. We all stay in contact on the phone.
The concern is over 38-year-old Nicholas Rucker, a man police say is armed and dangerous because he's accused of killing his girlfriend, Vicki Connor. Neighbors say they saw him running out of his Woodbine home, claiming Connor's death was a suicide, but he's been spotted twice since then.
However, the best I can tell, law enforcement's doing a fabulous job. He's just managed to slip through the cracks a couple of times, and unfortunately, he's got into the neighborhoods here around the area.
Nicholas Rucker had been out of prison 8 years when this latest crime happened. He was charged with killing his own 3-month-old son in 1998. Nicholas Rucker was sentenced to 20 years in prison from that 1998 murder. He was not paroled, but after 13 years, he was released after completing some good behavior and educational programs.
It is a fear, especially when we know that he's already killed a little one, a baby.
So much fear that Oak Grove Elementary canceled all outdoor activities Wednesday. Residents say they're taking measures to protect themselves.
We all have guns, and we're not afraid to use them, trust me.
In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Police say the last time someone saw Rucker, he was not even wearing a shirt or shoes. A Prestonsburg man wanted on a warrant related to child sexual exploitation is now behind bars. Bobby Blackburn surrendered to police following a 5-day search. Here he is. From the arrest citation, investigators say he tried to get one girl who worked at a business he owned to, quote, engage in a threesome with him and another minor. Police say he messaged the girl through iMessage. It is unclear what business Blackburn owned. He faces a charge of prohibited use of an electronic device to procure a minor. A fire this afternoon damaged a Johnson County home. Luckily, fire officials tell us no one was hurt. Here's video of that scene. The fire happened on Witten Lane in Wittensville. The home received smoke and water damage. Several fire departments responded to the scene. They are still trying to figure out the cause. Interstate 75 is back open this evening. A fiery crash shut down a portion of the southbound lanes in Rockcastle County earlier. It happened just north of the Mount Vernon exit, and at one point traffic was backed up into Madison County. The semi that crashed was carrying pigs. Some of them died. Others survived and were taken to veterinarians in the area. State police say that, coupled with the fiery debris, made it difficult to clean up.
Well, it's going to be a tedious type operation. I mean, we're having to offload the animals from the crashed vehicle onto another vehicle. So, it's going to be a challenging situation, to say the least.
Officials say the driver of the semi-truck said a tire blew out, causing him to lose control, hit a guardrail, and crash into a ditch. He is expected to be okay. A man involved in a police chase is still on the run tonight. Troopers say the suspect was leaving a drug house in Laurel County in a stolen car. He sped into Jackson County, where he eventually crashed in the Mill Creek area, but he still managed to get away. Troopers say they have a good idea of who they are looking for, but have not told us the man's name. Today was expected to be a big day in the fate of the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center in Pineville. This several-year financial struggle could be coming to an end one way or another. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has the latest.
Just in the last week, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid pulled the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center's license. On top of that, the city was informed they would not have the assurances on a lien they had hoped would help keep the hospital afloat. But Mayor Scott Maiden says that is not stopping them from helping out any way they can. In a statement on Wednesday, he said, after extensive work today with the bankruptcy courts and the Pineville Medical Center, the facility is working diligently with the city and the courts to complete a transfer of ownership. Attorneys for the current owner say they have reduced staffing to keep the doors open.
Patient safety is first and foremost, but then on the second hand, not have ancillary personnel that we didn't have the ability to pay and weren't necessary for the operation.
Lawyers say this is because as more of the issues are made public, fewer patients are checking themselves into the hospital.
This will allow us to lessen the amount of these payroll obligations that we're incurring, which would lessen the amount of money that the hospital is losing each and every day.
Hoping to strike a deal with what will work for everyone involved. In Pineville, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, both parties were still in meetings as of 5 o'clock. We will, of course, continue to update this story as we get more information, and the future of the hospital remains up in the air. A former state representative intends to run for a bigger office. Wesley Morgan has filed for U.S. Senate. He would challenge Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for the seat in the Republican primary. Morgan lost his renomination last year. He had said he was leaving the Republican Party. Morgan has filed the paperwork to begin fundraising.
And a few pop-up showers and storms are possible as we head into the overnight hours. The main threat is out of the way, but a cold front moves in tomorrow, brings us the greater chance for showers and storms once again. Also brings in those mild temperatures. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.